السلام عليكم طالبات المرحلة الرابعة جامعة تكريت كلية التربية للبنات قسم اللغة الإنجليزية ومحاضرتنا في مادة النحو Nominal Clauses الجمل الاسمية. You know that in English there are different types of nominal clauses. They are here restricted to 6 types: that clauses, WH interrogative clauses, yes no interrogative clauses, nominal relative clauses, to-infinitive nominal clauses, and nominal ing clauses. These 6 types are all nominal clauses. Since they are nominal clauses, they occupy the position of the noun wherever it can occur in the sentence. So they fulfill or they function different functions in the sentence. They might be a subject, they might be a subject complement, they might be an object complement, a direct object, an indirect object. They can be a prepositional complement, an adjectival complement, an apposition, etc. So wherever a noun can occur, a nominal clause can substitute it and occur instead of it to fulfill the same function, to achieve the same function. We are going to survey these 6 types one by one and check the main positions that can occur within the sentence. Now we begin with that clauses. For each type there should be a clue to let us say to distinguish, to let you able to distinguish it from other types. So the clue here is the word that itself. For each function I have provided one example, and this example is in fact taken from your book. You can check your books or depend on this PowerPoint. This is okay for both. Now, the first function is the subject. That she is alive is a cancellation. That she is alive is the subject here. Direct object, I told him that she was wrong. Subject complement, the assumption is that things will improve. This sentence and the first one have the same pattern, N and intensive verb and N noun. Appositive اللي هو البدل, your assumption that things will improve is unfounded. So that things will improve is the appositive sentence. This is the function. Its type is that clause. Its function is appositive. Adjectival complement, I'm sure that things will improve. So why it is an adjectival complement? Because it has followed the adjective sure. That's all for that clauses. The second type is WH interrogative clauses. So what is the clue for this type is the WH interrogative article itself. So we have a question article here that begins the nominal clause. WH interrogative clauses or an interrogative clause can occur as subject. How the book will sell depends on its author. So how the book will sell is the subject, especially it occupies the place or the position of the subject, and it precedes the verb. Direct object, I can't imagine what made him do it. So what made him do it is the direct object. It comes after the verb imagine. Subject complement, the problem is, so what is the problem? Is the same, who will stay instead. Who will stay instead is the problem. Both of them refer to the same thing. It is a subject complement. Appositive اللي هو البدل, my original question, why he did it, has not been answered. So why he did it is, if I ask you about the type, you say it is a WH interrogative clause, and the function, it is a positive. Adjectival complement, I wasn't certain whose house I was in. Certain is an adjective. What follows after the adjective is a complement of that adjective if it completes and modifies its meaning. So whose house I was in, its type, what type of nominal clause, it is a WH interrogative clause, and what function does it fulfill? It fulfills the function or achieves the function of adjectival complement. Now, prepositional complement, it is very easy. Whenever we have a preposition followed by a noun or a nominal clause, this is a prepositional complement, and some scholars call it the object of the preposition. So, let me read the example. No one was consulted on who should have the prize. So we have the preposition on, and it is followed by a WH interrogative clause, by a nominal clause. Who should have the prize? Its function is a prepositional complement. So, and that's it with this type. Its clue is the WH word or article, and the functions are these in front of you. The third type is that yes-no interrogative clauses. Yes-no interrogative clauses can occur in two forms. Either it is preceded by if, or it is preceded by whether. So this is the clue for this type. It also can function different functions. The first one is that of a subject. Whether or if the project will be acceptable is my question. So the clue here is whether or if. We distinguish its type. If I ask you about the type and function of the underlined phrase, you tell me it is a nominal clause. The type is yes-no interrogative clause. The function is subject. The other function is that of a direct object. I don't know whether or if the banks are open. We have no here. The verb, what follows a verb, is typically an object. Subject complement. The problem is whether or if the project will be acceptable. So, whether or if the project will be acceptable completes the meaning of the subject, the problem, then it will be a subject complement and a positive بدل. My original question, whether the case is settled, has not been answered. So whether the case is settled is an appositive. Whether or if, of course. It is an appositive. Adjectival complement. Since we have an adjectival complement, we should have an adjective, and whatever clause follows the adjective is an adjectival complement typically. I wasn't certain whether or if the banks are open. Prepositional complement. No one was consulted on whether to have the prize or not. So whether to have the prize or not is the prepositional complement. It follows the preposition on. And that's all for yes, no interrogative clauses. The fourth type is that of nominal relative clauses. We see that in nominal relative clauses, they should begin with a relative pronoun, and a relative pronoun sometimes might be similar in its spelling to that of a WH question article. So don't confuse between this type and that of WH clauses. Why? Because the meaning is different. There it arises a question. It triggers a question in that type. But here in this type, it gives us a declaration. It gives us a statement to complete the meaning. So its meaning is declarative. Now the first function is that of a subject. What he is looking for is a wife. What he is looking for is the subject. What type? Nominal clause. What type of nominal clause? Nominal relative clause. Direct object. I want to see whoever deals with complaints. So, see is the verb. Whoever deals with complaints is the direct object, a nominal relative clause. An indirect object. We know that many verbs in English, they are diatransitive verbs. They take two objects after them, the indirect object and the direct object. And here, give is one of these verbs. He gave whoever came to the door a winning smile. So, a winning smile is the direct object, but the underlined clause, whoever came to the door, is the indirect object. Subject complement. Subject complement always occurs after an intensive verb. Home is where your friends and family are. Please don't confuse when you see where here. You think that it is a WH question nominal clause. No, it is a nominal relative clause because it is a declarative one and doesn't trigger the meaning of a question. Object complement. You can tell me whatever names you like. So here tell is the verb, me is the direct object, whatever names you like is the object complement. Why? Because names completes the meaning of me. It has a modification of me, of whatever names I might have like. So the other or the final, let us say, function concerning nominal relative clauses is a prepositional complement. Whenever we see the word prepositional, we know that there is a preposition and complement the clause which follows that preposition. Vote for whichever candidate you like. So, whichever candidate you like is the prepositional complement. The fifth type, to-infinitive nominal clauses, and the title shows the whatever comes to contain. We have a to and an infinitive nominal clause. Two infinitive nominal clauses can occur as a subject. For a bridge to collapse like that is unbelievable. So we have the verb preceded by the infinitive to. This type is easy to distinguish, and this is the clue. It is to plus infinitive. Whenever we see the clause having to plus infinitive, its type, we say it is a nominal clause. It is a to infinitive nominal clause. Now, the direct object, he likes everyone to be happy. To be happy, everyone to be happy, is the direct object. Its type of that to infinitive nominal clause. Subject complement, my wish is to be a pilot. A positive, his ambition to be a straight actor will never fulfilled. Adjectival complement, I'm glad to help. We have an adjective. This clause to help. Why don't we call it phrase? ليش ما سميناها phrase؟ ليش قلنا to help is a clause? Because it contains a verb. A clause has a verb. So, to help, يعني مش تشوفوها قصيرة وتقولون هاي phrase. No, it is a clause since it has a verb. And this this clause, what type? It is a nominal clause. مو تشوفوها بها فعل وتقولون verbal وكذا. It is a nominal clause. What type? It is to infinitive nominal clause. What function? It follows an adjective. It is an adjectival. We have the sixth type. It is nominal ing clauses. This type is very easy. It has a clue. And what's that clue? Clue يعني الإشارة أو الدليل. شنو هو الكلو مالته? It is the ing. The verb has an ing. That ing of a participle. Not of a continuity. Now, the subject, telling lies, is wrong. So telling lies, if I give you this sentence and I ask you about its type and function, you tell me it is a nominal clause. What type of nominal clauses? It is a nominal ing clause. Its function, it functions as a subject. Direct object, no one enjoys deceiving his own family. Subject complement, his favorite pastime is playing practical jokes. So playing practical jokes is a subject complement. Be careful, this is not a sentence in present continuous. It is a sentence in simple present. The main verb is, an intensive verb is, and playing this ing, it is a gerund, it is a participle, it is a clause, nominal clause with ing. Appositive يعني البدل، دائما البدل يكون بين two commas. His hobby, collecting stamps, absorbed him. So collecting stamps, nominal ing clause. Adjectival complement, the children were happy building sand castles. Sand castles. The final function here, prepositional complement. I'm tired of, we have the preposition of, and being treated like a child is the nominal ing clause. Now, how to distinguish the function? Concerning the types, these types have to be memorized, and they are 6 types. You should memorize them and know the clue for each one. For that clause, we have that as a clue. For the WH interrogative clauses, we have the WH as a clue. For the ing clauses, we have the ing. For the to plus infinitive, we have to plus infinitive. For the relative nominal clauses, we have a relative pronoun, and etc. However, the function is sometimes problematic, but you can guess it through the meaning. I have tried as much as possible to state rules, or rather to constrain yourselves with these things that might help you in deciding the function. Subject. When the nominal clause occur as a subject, يعني in different types, whether it is a nominal relative clause, an ing, a to, that clause, etc. A subject typically occurs in the beginning of the sentence. In most cases, when we see it in the beginning of the sentence and preceding the verb, it is an object, and I think that it is the easiest one to decide. Direct or indirect object. How do we know that this is the direct object or the indirect object? Typically occurs after the main verb. Of course, it is a transitive verb. And if it is a diatransitive, يعني ياخذ مفعولين, of course one of them is the indirect, which comes before the direct. Subject complement typically occurs after the main verb, and the main verb should be an intensive verb, يعني verb to be. It is also easy to decide. Appositive. This is merely looking at the sentence, you know that it is an appositive. مجرد النظر إليها راح نعرف هذا appositive. ليش نعرف البدل بسهولة؟ Because typically it occurs between two commas. بين فارستين راح يجي. Adjectival complement typically occurs after an adjective. ودائما الادجectives اللي تكون موجودة هنا بالكتب أو بالجمل اللي تلقوها أكثرها الادجectives certain, sure, glad, happy, etc. بس هذا مو يعني إنه فقط هاي الادجectives. أكو كثير من الادجectives لكن هاي أكثر ورودا. Prepositional complement typically occurs after a preposition. This is very easy. من نشوف preposition ورا clause, وهاي clause I have underlined it for you. It is a prepositional complement. Object complement typically occurs after the object. من نشوف الobject ورا complement, فهذه تكون object complement if it modifies, إذا ضافت فد شي معنى للobject، ونفرق بينها وبين direct and indirect Now I ask you to do the exercises and check your understanding of what I have explained. You have at the bottom on the left here exercise 178. Which of the sentences below contain nominal that clauses? So if the sentence contains nominal that clauses, you should pick it and say this sentence has a nominal that clauses. In exercise 179, combine each of the pairs of sentences below so as to form one sentence containing a nominal that clause. Say in each case whether the subordinator that is optional or obligatory. I don't want this task. Only just combine them and make it into one sentence that has a nominal that clause. In exercise 180, they are also asking you to combine each pairs of sentences below to form one sentence containing a WH clause, and you should also provide the function. And the exercise that precedes it in 179, also I want the function. Whenever you have an exercise, state the type and the function. In exercise 181, you have here to replace, I don't want in fact this exercise, it is somehow redundant. In exercise 182, combine each of the pairs of questions below so as to form one question containing a dependent yes/no clause. In exercise 183, say which of the WH clauses below are WH interrogative clauses and which are nominal relative clauses. Here you depend on the meaning. In exercise 185, you have nominal to infinitive clauses. Say what function the infinitive clauses fulfills in the superordinate clauses below, and B, what is the subject of each of the two clauses. They mean the superordinate and the subordinate, the main clause and the minor clause or the secondary clause. In exercise 186, say what function the ing clauses fulfill in the superordinate clauses below. And that's all for this lecture. I hope you have understood everything. To have your answers or question or maybe queries at the group of WhatsApp. See you. Read the lecture well, listen to it well, do the exercises, and we are going to meet later. Thank you very much for listening.